A military challenge coin is a coin that's minted to represent an organization or a team, and its purpose is to form a bond between the individual who gives it and those who receive it, to represent membership in a group, and it's also given for an honor for special achievement. Ansys really tries to find the authoritative source of truth of things. Unfortunately, when it comes to the history of the challenge coin, there is no ASOT, but there's a couple of popular versions out there. So I'll give you two of the histories of the military challenge coin. The first is in World War I, there was a wealthy soldier who just really loved his unit and wanted to honor the members of his unit. So he paid to have a medallion minted with the unit's insignia on it. And every member of the unit got one, and they carried it with them at all times. He carried his in a pouch around his neck. Well, his aircraft was shot down over Germany, and he was captured by the Germans, and they took all of his possessions except that pouch around his neck. He was able to escape and was found by some French soldiers, and they couldn't identify him. They couldn't understand his language, and they couldn't tell whether he was an enemy or an ally. So they were just going to execute him until he remembered that pouch around his neck, and he pulled out the medallion and showed it to them, and one of the French soldiers recognized the insignia. And so instead of getting executed, he was handed a bottle of wine. The second most popular version is that during the Vietnam War, an infantry unit had a bar, and they made it so that it was for infantry only. You could only come to this bar if you were in the infantry, and you had to prove it. Eventually, they had so many people coming in who weren't infantry, they decided to mint a coin with their unit's insignia on it. And when someone was challenged, are you in the infantry or not, the only way they could prove it is by showing the coin with the infantry insignia on it. So that's where the military challenge coin supposedly came from. So we have this Veterans at Ansys ERG, and we get together once a month for a happy hour. It's just a natural thing we do is say, hey, let me show you the coins I got. At some point, I think it was Sean Ray suggested, hey, why don't we have our own coin? Why don't we come up with our own coin? So thankfully, we had Frank, who volunteered to use his talents and skills because he loved doing it, to design the coin. So.
First side tells the story of the coin. So you can see a veteran at Ansys Employee Resource Group with a lone soldier standing covered with a hat on and saluting a flag of non-denominational status. And the 5 stars represent the 5 decades of Ansys, and the 1 star is obviously one Ansys.
It's really good.
The other thing I want to show is that it's obviously thick and heavy, which you see, but it's 12-sided, and that's a nod to the importance of geometry. We couldn't have a coin made by me that didn't have some geometrical thing there. And then here it says physics, simulation, engineering, which are basic tenets of Ansys. And then it tells the story of Ansys. You can see we have chip design and electronics, we have fluid and fluid engineering, we have 3D geometry. You have structures and thermal and additive, you have high frequency antenna, and you have mission engineering. Mm-hmm. And so a little side thing is that tells the story of chip to missions.
Very nice.
And then the other thing that's notable about this coin is that each one is numbered. You're number 1, you're our commander-in-chief, and then your staff will get some, and the people on the resource group will all get them, and they're all tracked, and each one that ever is given out is tracked by number. And so this is your actual coin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Carry it in peace.
That coin represents a team who worked on something together and belong as a group. What a great symbol to represent so many things about Ansys. Teamwork, pride in the products, a desire to share that pride with everyone else and to have a way to talk about it.
Just a couple of things, and maybe this might be something I haven't really shared a whole lot. So when I was 3 years old, my mother was told that an enemy submarine had sunk my father's ship. And then pretty soon she found out that he hadn't actually died, that the ship had actually survived. And he died about 20-something years after that, still too soon. And when he died, my mother told me that in that period of time when she thought the ship had sunk, that she had spent her time thinking about what it would be like to raise 2 children as a single mother. That she viewed every moment that she had with him afterwards as a bonus. And my grandfather went to war. He fought for the British during World War I. He fought in Iraq. My father went to war. He fought for the Indian Navy. And while I didn't serve, I certainly have a sense of what the culture and the commitment that veterans have. I have a sense of what that's like. Now, my father didn't. He couldn't really make a lot of money, but he was really rich, and he was rich in principles. He was rich in values, and those are the values that he tried to inculcate for both my brother and for myself. And frankly, I believe that those are the values that are shared by veterans the world over. We've talked about them: integrity, commitment, honesty, honor, courage. These are all profoundly important values, and that's why I'm so proud that Ansys is welcoming and supportive of our veterans the world over. And that's why this is such an honor for me, because it suddenly brings back memories. It reminds me of my own family history. So thank you very much. I appreciate your thinking of me, and I appreciate all of the cultural values that you collectively as a group bring to the company. This is terrific. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the executive leadership team and the organization for all the support. Being a part of this employee resource group has been fantastic, and Jan's support has been absolutely amazing. The employee resource group additionally partners with other organizations like the American Corporate Partnership that allows us to provide high quality individuals to be mentors for those veterans that are transitioning into the corporate world, and it serves as giving back to that community as well as increasing our veterans talent pipeline. I think it's absolutely an amazing partnership. I'm really proud to be a part of this organization.
There are a lot of veterans at Ansys doing very important work, and they have, huge business insights related to the government especially, but just in general. But also the ethos of camaraderie and teamwork and loyalty. It is a joy to be associated with that ERG. I think the members in it find that ERG also to be a place for community. And it's just one more way to feel connected to the company that is a meaningful way to work at Ansys.